Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS Inform. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Today, we're going to talk about the DuBois County Fair. That's right, everything is normal at the DuBois County 4-H Fair. Joining us in the studio is Lisa Wilson. Lisa is the Youth Development Educator with Purdue Extension. And we also have with us Chelsea Brewer, who is the Health and Human Sciences Educator. I got that right?
Yes, you did.
I can never seem to get that one right. Well, they're from the Extension Office to tell us more about the DuBois County Fair. So, fairs are really off and running. The DuBois County Fair, is it back to normal?
It's back to normal. We're excited to have everybody out. It's a great time to celebrate our 4-H youth's accomplishments and our volunteers as well. They worked really hard with our 4-Hers to get them to this point this year, and we're excited to be able to celebrate more publicly this year than what we did last year.
So when we say normal, times are just like they've always been, events are just like they've always been, but if you feel like wearing a mask, you are more than welcome to wear a mask.
Yeah. Of course, we're going to encourage social distancing, and we are going to encourage you to wear a mask if you're not fully vaccinated. However, we will not be walking around and policing that of sorts.
Okay. So the fair is going to go on like usual. When does the fair run?
The fair runs the 12th through the 17th officially, but there are some pre-fair events that are pretty exciting this year, Bill.
Oh, let's talk about those.
Yeah, J.D. Shelburne will be back in concert this year because if you remember a couple years ago, he was scheduled to be at our fair, but it was a very rainy evening that night and it had to be moved, and so it was not very convenient. So this year he has offered to come back, and we are very excited to have him on the Saturday before the fair on July the 10th.
And where will that be? In the grandstand
In the
area?
grandstands, yes.
Okay. Okay. And then what else is going on? It starts on, are projects checked in on that Saturday? Sunday?
Projects are checked in on the 7th and 8th and 9th.
Oh, okay.
And then the animals come in on the 11th,
okay,
on that Sunday, and then we're off and running.
Okay, so the fair gets started in earnest at the 12th. Okay.
Yeah.
The Midway is going to look different this year.
That's
correct.
Can
you talk about that?
Lark Ranch will be here this year for the Midway. They're going to be bringing their rides that you are familiar with seeing up at Lark Ranch in the fall. And then they're also going to have a mechanical bull. Are you going to try that out?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, come out and see it then.
All right.
Yeah. And then they will also have a rock climbing wall with, I think, that you can compete with other friends of yours to climb at the same time.
I think up to 4 is
what
I heard.
Yeah.
Up
to 4 people.
Now,
so, if you want to have the whole WBDC studios out there.
Against each other, we could do that.
You could go up against Ty and Bees,
Well, that'd be easy. I need somebody with a little more competition than those guys.
Just give them some Mountain Dew. It'll be fun.
They'll be up in no time. The fair is free. We want to point that out. The DuBois County Fair is free. There are people who are out there when you see them, they're parking you. They're helping to park you in the best places possible, which, by the way, the 4-H Fairgrounds has great parking all around the fairgrounds for the most part.
And those are all volunteers, so please be nice to them.
Yeah, really. And are they volunteers from like Boy Scout troops and things like that?
Yeah, different organizations throughout DuBois County volunteer to come out each night to park.
Well, that's the one thing about the DuBois County 4-H Fair. It's held in really what is the center of the county, and it is the one event that brings the whole county together for a whole week of festivities.
That's exactly right. So good thing it lasts a whole week, because we wouldn't be able to fit it all in just a couple days.
Now, with the fair, you've free admission, but if you want to go see a grandstand event, you're going to pay for that. But what are some of the highlights of the grandstand? What are some grandstand highlights?
Grandstand highlights, well, we have the garden tractor pull as usual and the flat drags as usual. Tug of war is on Thursday. That we have, I would venture to say, the most intensive tug of war contest in the state.
I think so.
Those
kids, and it's between 4-H clubs is what it is.
Yeah, but you can enter and not be in 4-H, It's just like an open thing as well. But, it's pretty intense. This is not stand on top of the ground, tug of war, It's like dig the hole and the whole bit. So anyways, tug of war is on Thursday night. Friday night, we have Lucas Oil Pro Pulling coming out. So the tractor pull that has typically been a couple weeks after the fair this year is on Friday night of our fair.
That's excellent.
Big event demo derby, which is usually like the grand finale, but now we have motocross on Sunday that lasts pretty much most of the day on Sunday. So three big events to round out.
When
the
you
end of
say
the week.
Sunday, do you mean the Sunday after the fair?
Sunday after the
Okay,
fair.
so really we're talking about Friday, Saturday, Sunday as the big
Yeah.
grandstand events. Okay. Well, Thursday because of the tug of war.
I know,
That's
right?
right. Okay.
So it's the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th of July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Chelsea, you do something that's kind of, I'm going to say weird. That is goat yoga.
Yes.
What is goat yoga?
Yeah, so goat yoga is back by popular demand. We tried it out in 2019, and it was so much fun that we are bringing it back in earnest this year with two separate sessions. So one of them is Tuesday, July 13th from 12 to 1. The other one is Thursday, July 15th from 5:45 to 6:45. So we added that evening option there. And we go into the show corral, and we have a bunch of little pygmy goats there, and we do a little yoga class, and they come around to your mat, and if you're lucky, they hop up on your back.
Really?
That doesn't
Okay.
happen very often. It's more cuddle session,
Okay.
cuddle time. You get to pet them, and it's just fun.
Is there a charge for that? Is that
There is no charge for that. However, the studio, Yes Power Yoga, is accepting donations for
Okay.
that. So if you feel like donating to them.
and this makes me think of there's still the livestock shows like they've always been that go late
Yep.
into the night for the kids to enjoy. Talk about the livestock shows. Do you know the days that those happen?
Yeah,
Because
I
they
can tell
have
you
some
the
of those
days that
happen during the
happen.
day and some of those are at night.
Yes, yes. So on Saturday, July the 10th, we have Rabbit Check-In, and the Rabbit Show is on Saturday. So, the youth just carry the rabbits up and meet with the judge and talk with the judge. But you want to see how that happens, that's on Saturday. Horse and pony shows, there's one almost every night of the week through the fair. And then on Monday, the goat show starts at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, and
early.
it lasts a pretty good bit of the day. It's a pretty long show. In the evening at 6 o'clock is the swine show and showmanship on Monday. On Tuesday in the afternoon is the poultry show. So you might see turkeys, ducks, pigeons, chickens, of course, there. And then on Tuesday night, we have the sheep show and showmanship. And then on Wednesday, cat judging is in the afternoon, and the beef show is also starts in the afternoon, goes on into the evening for that. And then Thursday is dog obedience in the morning at 9 o'clock. And then in the evening, we have the Supreme Livestock Showmanship. So that is a really neat competition because it is all the youth who have won their showmanship competition. They come together and they show a variety of different animals to be like best of the best, if you will.
Okay, so they may show a sheep and a goat.
Yeah.
Well, I guess not. Sheep and a goat considered the same?
No.
Okay, so there is a sheep showmanship, a goat showmanship, and a
Yeah.
horse? Horse, not really. Okay.
Beef,
Swine.
swine. Yeah.
Okay. So these shows are all free.
Oh, yeah.
And they're really entertaining to watch.
Yes.
It's a nice way to come to the fair, get something to eat, and then sit and just enjoy the show that's going on. You can come in, watch it for an hour, and leave,
That's
and then
right.
come back again. So that's the neat thing about these events. It's not like there's an admission gate or anything like that. You just come in
Right.
and enjoy the events.
And youth really appreciate your support. They work really hard to train these animals to walk and follow their commands, which is not always easy.
And really, these kids deserve your support for the work that they've done, because this is not. They don't the Monday before the fair go, okay, I'm going to take that cow. They've been
No.
working with that steer for a while to bring it
Yes.
to the fair.
Yes. Yeah.
And the same with all the projects. I always like walking through the project buildings
Mm-hmm.
to see the different projects that kids have done, because that is not something you just do right at the last minute, although some families do.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that's things that kids have been working on.
Most of the time, these kids some of them have been working on it since last year's fair. They get done with one project and they start up the next one. But for the most part, most of them have started in January and have been working on their projects throughout the entire year. Even with the poster projects, doing research and figuring out what topic they want to present on takes some time.
And there is still open class,
There is still open class.
which is, that's for anybody, right? Can somebody explain open class and what those categories are?
Do you have all the categories?
No, I don't have all the categories. There's lots of them.
There are
Okay.
a lot of categories. If you want to know what those categories are, you can certainly contact our office, and we have a little book that goes over all those categories, but there's lots of them, crafts and baking and, I don't even know all of them off the top of my head, but the fact of the matter is anybody can enter.
Okay.
And and bring that to the fair.
Because just because you're out of 4-H doesn't mean that you still don't do crafts that
Oh,
you're
right,
proud
right.
of.
Yeah.
So if you're 50 years old and you've done something you want to present,
Photography.
and they need to bring that day. Do you need to know ahead of time on that, or is it just bring it that day and say, okay, this is what I'm bringing?
Not for open class. We do not have, you don't have to sign up ahead of time for that. The drop off and check-in time for that, I'm looking for it here so I get it right, is 4 to 7 on Friday, July the 9th in the exhibit building. So you'll bring your projects then, and we don't need to know ahead of time.
Can I borrow this?
You can borrow
Okay,
this.
you see this. This is chock full of stuff to see. Very small print, but there is so much going on at the DuBois County Fair,
Yes.
and that's why I'm bringing this up. And this is available on your website.
This is available on our website. We actually have a website just for the fair this year, Bill, because
noticed
there's
that.
so much. We can't just put it all on our website. So this year our fair website is bit.ly, that's bit.ly/DuBois CO 4H Fair. And of course, if you go to any of our Facebook pages on the Purdue Extension Facebook page or the DuBois County Fairgrounds Facebook page, it'll link you also to that website.
Okay. And for seniors, there has always been, I think, on Friday, like a career, not a career fair, but a health fair sort of thing. But you're doing that a little different.
Yeah, it's a little bit different this year. We kept it the same time. So it's still Friday from 9 to 11. But what it is more of a social hour. We're titling it Coffee and Conversation because that's really what we want it to be. It's going to be an open house style from 9 to 11 where you can come in, get yourself a cup of coffee, go and explore the grounds, look at all the exhibits, the animals, and then at 10 a.m. we're having Lee Bilderback come in and he's presenting on the history of DuBois County. So that's from 10 to 11. However, if he's presenting and you still want a cup of coffee, you can come in and get a cup of coffee and go explore. We're just keeping it very casual. We want it to be a fun time to kind of catch up on the things that we've missed.
Well, you said two words that has to do with everything at the 4-H fair: casual,
Yes.
and also fun. It's a great opportunity to take kids to the fair,
Yes.
who have never seen a sheep, who have never seen a steer. And I think, if kids are around and those 4-Hers are around, ask if you can pet the animal. Some animals you won't want to pet.
Right.
And kids will know that. They'll say, don't. I know there's signs at the horses, please be careful, I bite.
Yeah.
Because horses do. But it's an amazing opportunity to get kids close to animals, to see those animals for real and not just talk about them.
Exactly. It's really a great opportunity to get out and see the agriculture that is going on with livestock and even non-livestock type animals, the small animals in DuBois County, and get that connection to farmers in our community, as well as all the other youth in the community that are doing all the projects, inside those exhibit buildings. And it's just really a neat thing to see everything that those youth have been learning about all year and putting their best foot forward.
And it's never too late to join 4-H. If you go to the 4-H fair and say, this is something I would like to be part of.
That's right.
Find a 4-H kid, they'll
That's
get you in a
right.
club, or go and find one of you.
And it's not all of the kids that live on farms,
Right.
It doesn't take a lot of space to have some chickens or a rabbit or even a goat if you're very brave.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a lot of space.
And you don't have to bring animals at all. Like if you enjoy photography or painting, drawing, any of those projects inside the exhibit building, you can bring just those.
And don't forget, Legos is also
Legos.
Yeah, Legos
Yes.
is it's a category. Is that a
Yeah.
project? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's fun. All right. Well, is there anything you'd like to add about the DuBois County Fair?
We just want to add that we have education stations going on every night where in most of the education stations there will be a make it and take it activity that is connected back to one of our 4-H projects. So if you have a child that just wants to learn a little bit more about what 4-H is or just wants to do a fun activity and have something to take home for free, we'll be out in the exhibit buildings every night during fair doing an activity.
In one of those exhibit buildings, A or B, north or south? I
Depends
guess.
on where there is space
Okay.
after we get all the exhibits set up.
Yeah.
And you don't know that until you get to that point.
That's exactly right.
Well, thanks to both of you for coming in. We look
Thank
forward
you.
to spending
Thank
the
you.
time, the whole week at the DuBois County 4-H Fair.
We're excited.
Our guests have been Lisa Wilson, and also joining us, Chelsea Brewer with the Purdue Extension Office here in Du Bois County. The Du Bois County 4-H Fair runs the 12th through the 17th, but the Saturday before on the 10th, there's a great concert in the grandstands. J.D. Sheldon from really the Louisville area, I think, and he's got a really great following. Outstanding performer. That kind of kicks off the fair, and projects get going. I hope to see you at the fair. I'm going to be there every night at the fair.
I will be too.
All right, I'm sure you guys will
we'll
be
be
working
there
at
too.
the fair. All right, thank you for watching WJTS. We are local people watching local people.